Imagine 60 years from now, you lay down in your bed, close your eyes with a smile on your face, surrounded by your loved ones because you're finally at peace. But the next day, a 13-year-old girl's parents are sobbing over her bedside because you were buried with the kidney that could have been used to save her life. According to the United Network for Organ Sharing, every 10 minutes someone is added to the organ waiting list. So by the time we're done with this class, 12 additional people are going to be in dire need of your help. So that's why I'm standing here today, to convince you guys to become organ donors and to become heroes. So today I'm going to outline how much of a need we need for organ donors in this country, a little bit of the process of organ donation, and then, and then show you how you can make a significant impact in an individual's life. So we have a huge problem in this country, and for once it has nothing to do with the last election. So the current status quo right now is that the amount of organ donors, of those who need organs, is rising exponentially, but the amount of people who are actually donating is remaining static. You know these patients. They're your doctors, your lawyers, even your second grade teacher, and they need your help. So Americans assume that the list for organ donors is 100 miles long, but in reality, the US government information on organ donation and transplantation states that 95% of Americans support organ donation, but only 48% are actually registered as donors. So also according to the American Transplant Foundation, one deceased donor can save up to 8 lives through organ donation, which is a crazy number. We have a responsibility as members of the human race to create a positive impact on this planet. And this positive impact doesn't even have to be made while you're living. Like I just said, you can donate your organs posthumously. So now that we've established the need, what can we do to change it? So many of you may have noticed on your license that you're listed as an organ donor, but unless you've received a physical card from the Florida Organ and Tissue Donor Registry, you're not actually registered as a donor and you need to physically go online to do so, and we'll get to that part a little bit later. So you can choose to donate your organs, like I mentioned before. These can include your liver, your lungs, your kidneys, and such, and you can save up to 8 lives with any of these organs. So you can also choose to donate your tissue, which can be like your skin, your eyes, your tendons, and you could potentially save over 100 lives. But you get to choose what organs you donate, how many lives you save. So you can also create a bigger impact becoming a living donor, and you hear stories about that all the time, how someone gave their kidney or even their bone marrow to save a life. Awareness and education can also create a big impact on this problem. So there was a study done in the American Journal for Transplantation titled Social Media and Organ Donor Registration, the Facebook Effect. Basically, in May of 2012, Facebook offered users to actually say whether they were an organ donor, register if they were not, and post this registration as a status for all of their friends to see. So on the first day of this initiative, 13,000 people registered as organ donors, which is 21 times the average day. And as you can see by this graph, every single state that they had data for increased by at least 7 times the amount of organ donors compared to the average day, just simply by posting a status on Facebook. So what happens if we don't increase the amount of donors in this country? If we don't increase the amount of donors in this country, rates of disease for things such as malaria and cancer will increase because doctors are going to be thinking about trying to solve the rates of organ failure as opposed to diseases such as this. Even at this point, if you don't feel like you want to be an organ donor, you may have a relative who's undecided. And if God forbid something happens to them, I want you to be able to make an informed and educated decision based on whether or not they should be a donor. According to Rabina Tyndale, who was published in the peer-reviewed journal titled Emergency Nurse, there was a higher rate of consent for those families who were given time and the information that they needed, especially once they found out that normal funeral processions can happen, even if you become an organ donor. So organ donation is not going to mutilate the bodies of your loved ones, and open casket funerals are still entirely possible. So there's also a lot of conspiracies that are associated with organ donation, like doctors are more likely to kill you faster if you're an organ donor, and it's simply not true. According to the US government information on organ donation and transplantation, 3 out of 1,000 individuals die in such a way that they can donate their organs. So these are highly educated medical professionals that went through at least 7 years of medical school to be able to save your life. So I think they'd be a little bit more prone to saving your life than taking the 0.3% chance that they might be able to use your organs. And these odds bring me to my next point. we have to try to beat this 0.3% by increasing the number of participants. So I want everybody who wants to become a donor right now to pull out your phones, and we're going to go to this website called registerme.org, which is sponsored by the Donate Life America network. So if you click on this little button right here that says register to be a donor, there are 6 questions. It takes 10 seconds. That's all it takes to save one life. So by filling out that little form, you're signifying that you're going to donate all of your organs upon death. But if you don't feel comfortable with that, if you only want to do your heart or your lungs, you can just scroll down to the same page, and underneath here there's going to be an option to edit your registration. And that's all you need to do. So there you have it. Some of you have saved at least one life today. That little 13-year-old girl doesn't have to die in vain. Now that you guys understand the high need for organ donors, a little bit of the organ donation process, and some of you have even actually taken that extra step in order to save lives, I encourage you to talk to your loved ones about organ donation and broach the subject. Only together as America can we try to tackle this Grand Canyon of a gap between donors and patients. Thank you.